day. Indiana has been known for improbable comebacks, but not last night. What OKC changed in Game 2 and what it means going forward. Plus, it was only one game, but our panel saw some troubling signs for the Pacers here. Can they unlock their stars to take back momentum? Big Perk, he has the big blueprint. And speaking of stars, we canvass the league for the latest news on Kevin Durant, Cooper Flagg, Darius Garland, and more. Shams is stopping by for a live report. NBA Today starts right now. We are live from the Paycom Center here in Oklahoma City for the next hour, that is, and then we are all off to Indianapolis as the NBA Finals continues, and we have a series. I'm Malika Andrews alongside Kendrick Perkins, Chiney Ogwumike, and Brian Windhorst. And my friends, last night there was a storm outside, there was some tornado warnings, but there was confirmed thunder in this building here. Chet Holmgren, Perk called for him needing to be more aggressive offensively here in Game 2. He did just that, Brian.
Came out with an aggressive mindset. You could tell he was feeling bad for 2 days about that Game 1 box score.
He had 9 points in the first quarter, by the way, after having 6 in all of Game 1. But the defense, Chiney, was swarming this Pacers team.
This is their signature, what they were able to do, slowing down Tyrese Haliburton, saying, give me that at the paint and forcing deflections and steals. They're not new to this, they're true to this.
41 points, by the way, in the first half. That matches the fewest points for the Pacers all postseason. And then there is the eye of the storm in SGA, Brian.
Yep, this was a much more controlled performance by SGA. This was an MVP SGA in this game.
Certainly, the little reverse there. And then a few minutes later, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he gets all the way to the cup. He was doing this all night, in control of this one in the first half. But Perk, I know that you were big on this. It wasn't just SGA, it was the others, Malika, as you always say.
I mean, we know what Alex Caruso is going to bring in off the bench, that championship pedigree. But I did not have Aaron Wiggins on my bingo card for Game 2.
You know who did?
Ooh.
Mark Daigneault. Here's him talking about Wiggins after the game.
I give him a lot of credit because he was a huge part of our success this season. And in the playoffs, his role's been variant night to night, but he hangs in there.
I love y'all. I love y'all. But Mark Daigneault was saying they hang in there. Then it's time for SGA to finish things off. This is what the others do. They get you in a position to just put the dagger. SGA, once again, a little mid-range.
Good luck.
Hitting the step back there. Let's just go to under 4 to play, putting the finishing touches on this. Drives. Finishes through some contact there.
Son.
He finishes with 34 points, Chiney. The Thunder even up the series at a game apiece. Here's SGA after the win.
Every game's a reset, and basketball reminds you of that. It's very humbling. It shows you that if you don't stay in the moment, if you don't come ready to play, no matter who you are, no matter what you just did, you can get beat and beat pretty bad. And we've learned those lessons, so we should be ready to go.
We were the aggressor tonight for much of the game, even when we had a lead. I thought the guys did a really good job of keeping the foot on the gas, especially defensively. I thought we really amped it up on that end of the floor. There's a couple times where we got off track on both ends, but we were able to course correct pretty quickly. So I thought the guys did a really good job of just recognizing when we weren't where we needed to be and getting there quicker.
It's rare to see the Thunder lose 2 games in a row, right? Last night they improved to 17-2 after a loss, a perfect 5-0 in the postseason, Brian. I know everyone was stuck on, Mark Daigneault, he's going to start the same starting lineup, but didn't go very well in Game 1. What changed in Game 2?
Their entire offensive mindset. In Game 1, they threw the fewest number of passes of any team in the entire playoffs. That was emanating from the way number 2 was playing. I know he had 38 points. Yeah. I know he shot the ball with a decent percentage, but that was not Shai. Over the previous 3 playoff games, he took 85 shots. Now, I know that Kobe is his mentor, but even Kobe was like, that was a little much, Shai. Look at the way he retrofitted his game. 21 shots, 12 free throws in Game 2, 8 assists after just 3 assists in Game 1. He obviously got his game going. The rest of the Thunder got their game going. We saw a much more trademark Thunder performance.
And 4 steals to add to that, by the way.
Right.
Go ahead, Chiney. I just had to add the 4 steals. He did on both
you got to put all the numbers in there. Look, I don't judge OKC by their stats because their consistency is on lock from SGA to their defense. I judge them on championship level plays, those hustle plays, like you said, the first to the floor plays. And we saw a number of them in Game 2. This one, for instance, first of all, you need a superstar that's unguardable. This man has been in his bag, 54% shooting from the mid-range. It does not matter who's in front of him. Look at this tween cross, a little contact contact here behind the back. Tough mid-range shot. That is automatic for SGA, aka MVP. Now, again, defense fuels their offense. I love the physicality here. First to the floor. You're going to dive. You're going to keep the ball active, and you are rewarded on the other side because SGA can continue to cook, but instead you pass up a good shot right here for a great one. First, he's like, move. I can cook right here. Clear out Caruso, but he does not settle. Watch SGA get to his bag. All right, I'm going to size you up with my size. I'm 6'6". I'm going to draw two, be unselfish, and kick it over to Caruso, who had plenty of room. So that's how good things turn to great things. Defense to offense. Caruso, 20 points, 4 threes, and it's all led by their defense and SGA's mentality and how they feed off of each other. Championship level plays that we saw from the Thunder in Game 2.
What was the biggest difference for SGA Game 1 to Game 2?
I think he slowed down, but to me, it was him making guys better, right? It's one thing to go out there and get your 30-plus, but it's another thing to be able to get Chet wide open shots. And then we saw the ball movement. He didn't get the assist, but that led from his hockey assist of the hockey assist of the hockey assist to the assist. And when you're playing that type of way and you're drawing that much attention, then all of a sudden it's opening up everything else for everybody else.
Well, I know it wasn't just SGA. In fact, I hear Kendrick Perkins spied something.
Again? I'm Kendrick Perkins, better known as Big Perk, and nothing gets past me. Freeze! Just when you thought it did get past me, there I am. I spy a problem. I spy it all. Carry the hell on. You like that, huh? You like that, huh? Look at that laugh over there. He like that. Hey, look, I do. I see it all. I spy something. The Thunder have something that no other team in the league has, a secret weapon off the bench, and his name is Alex Caruso. He comes in off the bench, and he's a complete game changer. Look at the first series. He's guarding Jaren Jackson Jr. He guarded him in that series. Game 7 of the semifinals, he guarded the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic, and then we saw him all up in Anthony Edwards, making him uncomfortable. This is textbook 101 defense at his finest. We're talking about Ant-Man. And last night, he had Pascal Siakam so frustrated with his one-on-one defenses, especially at the end of that first half.
Yeah, it really was. This is the textbook performance for the Oklahoma City Thunder. In fact, I was riding the elevator this morning with SGA's dad, which seems to be a common occurrence for all of us all staying across the street right in the same hotel. And he said to me, man, this is the script. Can we just run back this movie? Because this is what this Thunder fan base is certainly accustomed to seeing. On the flip side of all of this, you have Tyrese Haliburton. He was the hero in Game 1. He never got the chance last night. Here's what he had to say.
I mean, this is who they are defensively. They got a lot of different guys who can guard the ball, fly around. They're really physical, force the officials to, let us play a little bit more. So just got to do a better job playing through there. I think I've had 2 really poor first halves. So, I just got to figure out how to be better earlier in games. But kudos to them. They're a great defensive team. But, watch the film, see where I can get better.
So something just to note here, Pacers reporter Scott Agnes, he posted this video of Haliburton, just a little bit of a limp there as he leaves the podium. Hopefully he's okay, but we just wanted to show this video. We'll pay attention to that going forward. Perk, you were adamant last night that they need more from Tyrese Haliburton, but my thing is he's not necessarily a 30 points a night type of guy.
Well, he shouldn't be putting up the numbers like the 6th man off the OKC Thunder bench. Guess how many points Alex Caruso got in these 2 games? Come on.
He got 20 last night.
He got 31.
Oof.
Guess how many Tyrese Haliburton got? He got 31. So he has the same amount of points as OKC's 6th man that's coming in off the bench. Unacceptable. Guess how many free throws Tyrese Haliburton got in this series?
Same number as you.
0. Thank you, Wendy. 0. So I'm not just picking on him. I'm not trying to find a reason not to call him a superstar.
Right.
No, I'm watching the game and I'm wondering, why are you not being aggressive? I understand OKC has a great defense. I get that. But you're playing one-on-one at time. You're not even attempting or trying to put some type of pressure on their defense and the officials,
right.
And that's unacceptable.
Well, maybe one of the reasons he's not getting to the free throw line, you know how many times over the last 2 seasons he's had 10 or more drives in a game against Oklahoma City?
How many?
Same number of free throws.
0.
Right. 0. We're starting to sound like DoorDash 0. It's the same. It's the same number as his free throws, right? And so this Oklahoma City defense, it changes the way Haliburton's able to play.
When did we hear this? We just heard this in the last round when we were counting Ann Edwards shots. We were like, why does he only get up 14 shots? This is what happens. You mentioned, because to me, the Oklahoma City era is the last 2 seasons. Over the last 6 games, 2 games last year, 2 games this year, 2 games this series, Haliburton's averaging 11 shots. And look, he is not an elite scorer. He's not a guy that averages 30 points like Shea does. But when he scores over 20 points, they are 7-1 in the playoffs, okay? And in those games, when he gets over 20 points, he also averages 11 assists. He doesn't just only shoot. When he's being super aggressive, it benefits the entire team. So while I admit that the Pacers have a very democratic system of offense, that they thrive on having 6 or 7 guys getting double figures, they need to find a way to get Haliburton going, because you know what? In Game 1, even though we hit the game winner, the Thunder were silently very happy with the way they defended him. He only scored 14 in that game. Last night, he only had 5 through 3 quarters. They like the way they're playing against him.
I know that the Thunder defense was on his mind because I saw a specific shot early in the game where I was like, okay, I have to be able to knock down the long distance 3 in order to free up my ability to get to the rack. It was this play right here, first quarter, midway through. All right, he's bringing the ball up. Normally he's a speed demon downhill. Instead, he settles for the shot 31 feet away with no one really near him. And I was like, oh, interesting. 4 out of his 5 shots in the first half were threes. That's not normal when you're trying to be aggressive. Again, that allows the defense to get going. Caruso, credit him. He knows that he does not want to go left. He wants to shoot off of his right. The whole left side of the court is free, but SGA is ready to switch. And then they don't even care about that slip screen short roll. They're playing the ball because they know Hallie, the game scouting report, is he wants to get his mid-range shot, that game-winning shot. Instead, they all hawk the ball, good line of defense, and they go the other way and force a foul. And then on this last possession, I like this right here because in transition, this is an area that they can really seize with Haliburton. He's like, hey, move out of the way. I got Hartenstein on me. No, instead, this is why the Thunder is successful. They still fight back on their matchups, hawk the ball, make it difficult for Hallie. So when he started off the game early shooting those threes, it made it harder for him to find his rhythm later. I'd prefer for him to get to the float game. I think it was 2 for 2 or like 3 for 3 when he got to the floater, because when he gets to that floater, instead of, shooting, he sometimes passes, but sometimes that's the highest percentage shot, not the threes early in the game.
Right, and I love that last clip that you showed also because it was Siakam that brought the ball up. Sometimes it seems like the Pacers are most successful when it's not Haliburton bringing the ball up.
That's what was the key to their comeback in Game 1. It was actually Andrew Nembhard playing point guard.
Right.
But maybe they can use him off the ball to create some offense. I will say, in the second half of this game, the Pacers did score 66 points. They did shoot over 50% from the field. They have found pockets where they can score on this Thunder team, but they force you to be consistent, and that's what Tyrese Haliburton has not been.
Are we focusing too much on Haliburton's scoring and not his assist numbers? Because when he gets 8 or more assists, that's sort of the sweet spot for them.
Yeah, but he's not going to get those assists. Like, a lot of those assists come because they're able to push the pace. Now you're looking at someone that is a team that is more athletic than you, right? With bigs that could run the floor like some damn, what is it?
Gazelles?
Deer. We're going to say deer.
Gazelle.
You know what I'm saying? I saw last night.
like gazelle.
Last night, I thought they had so many opportunities. I'm like, oh, the Pacers, they're about to be on a fast break, and all of a sudden I see Chet Holmgren break it up.
Right.
Right? Like, and that's what you're dealing with. Again, he's going to have to play in the half-court set. Like, if you're talking about greatness and you're talking about being him or one of those guys, you're going to have to make tough contested twos, tough contested threes, and you damn sure can't have the same amount of free throws as me.
And I think when we talk about superstardom, we noticed even though the Thunder lost in Game 1, how many shots did SGA shoot in the first quarter? He shot 12 because he understands he has to be aggressive and get his game going. I think Hallie's going to do the same thing Game 3.
I was just looking at that 10-1 number, their record with it when he has at least 8 assists, and that's why I'm like, all right, well maybe if he can get his teammates going, that creates a little bit more space for him. I'm told we got to go to break, so let's do it. And we're going to check in on the WNBA. Some must-hear comments from Becky Hammon after
early in the season.
Brutal loss here for the Aces. And Kelsey Plum's wondering what's going on with these rookies these days.
Plum's been balling. Plum dog.
What y'all got going on in the W?
It's always spicy.
With his second straight 30-point night, SGA joined a list of all-time greats. Where does he rank, and what can Indy do to slow him down? That's a question for Mr. Windhorst, of course.